Hey everyone, welcome back. So this is going to be day 2 of our eating on the Celebrity Reflections cruise. Hello, I'm Ray,
And I'm Barbara.
and we love to go on cruises.
We want to share our experiences and our knowledge with you in hopes to inspire and educate.
So we could be a blessing to others who share our passion. So for day 2, we stopped at Key West. That was our first port of call, and as soon as we got off the ship, we walked over to Anna's Cuban Cafe, and
Well, they have 2 locations, and we've been to actually Key West on a previous cruise. We did a Disney cruise that stopped down there, and we did the main Anna's, and we remembered it was really good. So we had actually found the second location. It's more of like a grab and go one. The second location, the one that we went to this time, was at 531 Green Street. It says it's a smaller grab and go spot near Mallory Square, which I think is where we got off this time. I think it was a different. I don't know if it's just.
so it was a different, I believe it was a different port. Still quite a bit of a walk, I have to say, because
It's little, yeah, maybe,
it was probably like a mile or so.
yeah. Didn't seem like it was too long to me, but
So, I mean, depending on how fast you walk, it'll probably be about 15 to 20 minute walk.
Yeah, maybe.
So, going there and then, of course,
coming
walking back.
Yeah. But we
So-
had no excursion or anything. We just said Cuban coffee is a must for us. So that's the goal of the day was.
Yeah.
So we did go to Anna's, had cafecito, or we both got our own colada, right? Yeah, because we've shared in the past, and that just doesn't
work.
Get
your own.
So we got our own, and then he got food. I was gonna hold off a little bit, but he ended up getting a few things. You got the
Empanada. I got an empanada, a croqueta, maybe 2 croquetas.
it looked like one.
Was it one?
I mean, according to the picture, maybe you were trying to slim down.
Yeah. And then, was it a
And
guava and cheese?
I think I don't know if it was guava and cheese,
It
but
might
it
have
was
just been a guava pastry.
Yeah, it might have just been a guava pastry.
Everything was excellent, by the way.
Yeah, so we enjoyed that, and we did pass by the main Anna's. We did go in the store that's attached to it and looked around and stuff like that. But yeah, so that was our excursion for the Key West.
Yeah.
And then when we got back on the ship and whatever we ended up doing for lunch, we stopped by the Masked Grill. And we both got burgers. Actually, our son did too. All 3 of us got burgers. I got fries, which I thought was good. I mean, I have no complaints about any of their food. So that was a nice lunch option for us.
Yeah.
And then the main thing that we did was we did all 3 go to dinner at the Opus Dining.
Dining.
Opus Dining. And so let's see. Ethan, no, you got the baked French onion soup, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that one has herb croutons, melted
Gruyere cheese.
Gruyere cheese.
Yeah. I don't know how to say that, but
yeah. And our son got escargot, which I'm sure he had some of too. But I didn't get an appetizer. Again, we're trying to not gain weight when we go on cruises. For Ethan's dinner choice, the entree, he chose the broiled salmon, which said, classic hollandaise sauce, mashed potatoes, and seasonal vegetables. I got the grilled New York sirloin steak, which again, some of this I'm not good at reading, so I won't try to butcher that language, but came with mashed potatoes and seasonal vegetables. And then
I got the steak Diane, which was the sirloin cut, creamy cognac and mushroom sauce with the haricot vert Hasselback potatoes.
See, I will try. But yeah, and again, I think to me the food was all fantastic. So
yeah, so I have to say, as someone who doesn't often get the French onion soup, I was a little bit disappointed. That certainly isn't the best French onion soup that I've had. I've had, I mean, there was a place that we used to go to a lot. Was it Crispers? I think it was Crispers in Tampa when the kids would go to the museum.
oh, that was Lakeland.
At Lakeland, yeah. Was that Crispers that we used to get?
We used to go to Crispers.
Yeah. And anyway,
I don't know if they're around anymore.
Yeah, they might not be around. I'm not sure, but they had a French onion soup that I used to get. It was pretty memorable. I mean, I would get that, and again, here and there throughout the years, I've had French onion soup, and I don't know, it tasted a little bit. The one on the cruise, it tasted more like of a watered down. I don't know. It just wasn't. Again, it just
To your
wasn't.
liking,
Yeah, it wasn't the
yeah.
best that I've had. The entree, however, the steak Diane was amazing. I mean, the meat, I can say it was just as tender as like those short ribs that we had on day one.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
at the concierge lounge, that was
Just-
amazing.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, obviously there's going to be things that maybe are not, you know, as great as you've had, but I think again, overall, I mean, everything I had, I think was pretty good. And then for dessert, we ended up, Ethan had a chilled strawberry soup, which had yogurt, panna cotta, is that how you say that?
Panna cotta, yeah.
Panna cotta, lemon buttermilk shortcake, and basil. And he also got a double dessert. He got the phyllo, is that I'm saying that right?
Yeah.
Phyllo dough tulip filled with citrus cream topped with fresh fruit. I got an apple pie a la mode with vanilla ice cream. And then you got...
I got the chocolate cake with layers of dulce de leche and chocolate fudge. And again, I think because I'm a little bit spoiled, I've had a lot of dulce de leche in my past, growing up, you know, around a lot of Spanish food and everything. I think I had a little bit of a higher standard for the dulce de leche. Again, it was probably just, you know, obviously their take on, you know, mixing chocolate cake and dulce de leche.
and the fudge and stuff.
So,
Yeah, but we did get a cheese platter as well.
Yes.
And we love cheese platters, so
Yes.
you can't go wrong with that. So we did get that, and it said it was a selection of domestic and imported cheeses served with crackers and biscuits. So again, you can't lose with that.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, the second day, I guess some of the things were maybe not as great as you wanted them to be, but again, for me, I have no complaints, and I, you know, enjoyed everything we had.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we had a great time at Key West. Again, this wasn't our first time going. I actually have a friend that lives down there, has lived down there most of his life. We were trying to meet up with him, but unfortunately our schedules just didn't match up. But we had a good time, you know, getting off at that port. We walked around.
Yeah.
I will say this, another pro tip, if you are trying to get to the southernmost tip where they have the buoy, make sure you go early because
there was a really long
yeah,
line.
it was a humongous line, and you know this was in May, early May that we were going, and so very hot here in Florida, and so we were walking, and by the time we got, you know, to Anna's, and you know, it was just extraordinarily hot. And we saw the line and we were just like, nope, we're not going to do it. So
no, because like we said, we've done it before,
Yeah.
and I mean, we've been to Key West. I think each of us. I know he lived down there for a little bit, but for me, I had gone, gosh, years ago, '97, and we had been on the cruise and stuff. So again, it's just we enjoyed just going out and get coffee. Not any big excursion or nothing that we really wanted to see. The kid, well, I was going to say the kids, but Ethan just even stayed on the cruise. He didn't even get off. So, but again, if you like to stop at little places and try some Cuban cafe or some Cuban food,
yeah.
that was a win. And then the food on the ship was great. So, yeah.
And they do have something, the Hemingway House, for those of you who are, you know, trying to plan a trip out there. We would highly recommend that.
Yeah, we did that last time
Yeah,
with
the-
the kids. It was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very nice, but yeah,
Yeah.
we had a good time.
Yeah. Good food.
So yeah, yeah, the food was very good. So
Yeah.
all right, so that's it for this video. That was day 2 of our Celebrity Reflections eating. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you give us a comment down below, let us know if you've ever been to Key West, and or if you've been on Celebrity Reflections, and let us know what your thoughts are about the food.
Okay. Thanks.
See you in the next video.